Welcome to the Energy Show, where we connect the dots between sustainability, innovation, and Africa's energy future. I'm still your very demure host, Tiana. And in this episode, we're talking about a powerful alliance, the public-private partnerships, known as the PPP, with a single tiny S at the back. Now, when governments and private companies work together, amazing things can happen, right? Or you don't know. But in Africa's energy sector, where the need is great and the challenges are complex, can these private partnerships be the key to unlocking reliable, scalable, and inclusive power? Now, let's explore how partnerships are shaping progress and what's required to make them truly work. We're going to explore it, right? Now, what are public-private partnerships? We're going to be starting with the definitions, right, to give us information. Now, a public-private partnership is a formal collaboration between government entities and private sector players to finance, to build, operate, or maintain infrastructure or services. However, in the energy sector, this can, kind of look like a private company building and managing a solar plant, while the government guarantees a long-term power purchase. We can also say it's a mini grid operator working with rural electrification agencies to serve underserved communities. It can also be seen as a tech firm partnering with a distribution company to deploy smart meters or digital platforms. It can also be known as, seen as a foreign investors co-funding large hydro or gas project with government support. Now, the idea is simple. The government brings policy, access, and public oversight. The private sector brings capital, innovation, and execution. Now, why public-private partnerships matter in Africa's energy sector? So why are the PPAs so crucial in Africa? That's the public-private partnerships. Because the financing gap in the energy sector is massive. So massive. According to the African Development Bank, the continent needs about $30,000 to $60,000 billion annually to achieve universal electricity access by 2030. And here's the thing, government alone can't foot that bill because we have budget constraints, we have currency risk, and infrastructure backlogs make it nearly impossible. And that's where the private sector comes in. We now see it as the partnerships in together, right? Now, this is where it can unlock a faster project execution through technical expertise, access to foreign and domestic capital, risk sharing between the government and private players, innovation and service delivery, job creation, and local value change. Now, when the public-private partnerships, when it's structured well, it's a win-win. Yeah, for both, it's a win-win. Because public-private energy projects in action. Now, I'm going to be citing some real examples, very real examples, prove that the PPP works. Nigeria. And this is gas-powered independent power plants built through a public-private partnerships. Even South Africa, we have the Renewable Energy IPP program in there, and private investors developed solar and wind farms, while the government provided clear procurement processes and long-term power purchase agreements. That's the PPAS. Let's talk about the Kenyan. We have the solar and the government support. Why not a traditional public partnerships? Kenya's enabling governments of private solar home system, companies scale rapidly, and others have reached millions of households with pay-as-you-go solar. Now, this module shows that partnership work when roles are clear, risk is managed, and trust is built. Now, let's talk about why public-private partnerships are holding back. We have to be honest here. Not all public-private partnerships succeed. Many fail before they start. Now, let's highlight some of the key challenges and the possibility for it to fail. Unclear regulatory frameworks, delays in government approvals or counterpart funding, as well as weak enforcement of contracts and guarantees, currency risks, and local financing. We have the bureaucratic and tape of political interference. Because in some countries, private investors are cautious, not because the projects lack potential, but because the environment feels very unstable. So what needs to change? Let's highlight what needs to change. To unlock the full potential of the public-private partnerships in the energy sector, we need a better playbook. Now, here's what it includes: strong policy frameworks, transparent procurement processes, and we also have the bankable project structures, not forgetting that we have the stakeholder engagement, and as well as blended finance. Now, at the end of the day, the public-private partnerships, they work best when both sides bring their A game, bring yours, and I bring mine, and trust is built over time. Africa's energy future is too important to leave to government alone, or to expect the private sector to solve it solely as just one person. We need partnerships together, collaboration. We need a shared vision. We need a shared responsibility. We need a shared reward for these public-private partnerships to work. It's not just about contracts and capital, it's about collaboration, innovation, and of course, a long-term impact. So whether it's powering cities, lightening up the rural communities, or deploying clean tech at scale, the future of energy will be built together. And that's all I have for you today on the Energy Show. I'm going to say a very big thank you for joining me on the Energy Show today. If you enjoyed this episode, if it is valuable to you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your network. You can as well follow us at the TLIG Africa for updates and behind the scenes content. And if you're part of a public-private partnerships in energy, or you're thinking of starting one, we'd definitely love to hear from you as well, partner with you. And until next time, stay your very beautiful host. I'm Tiana, and I am reminding you that in the journey to Power Africa, partnerships isn't an option, it's a necessity. I'm going to see you on my next one with a spark. Bye for now.